name is Laura. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on this video today. So today I'm going to be repotting 3 plants. I haven't done a repot with me in just like so long. I was looking back and I was like, what in the world? What happened? Have I just not repotted plants in so long? And like, I don't think I have repotted plants in a really long time. So it's time to repot some plants. I have 3 plants that I'm going to be potting up today. So my first one is my very lovely Philodendron Pink Princess. This plant fell out of its pot, question mark. It was in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet and I was just like looking at my plants and I was just going shelf by shelf. And when I got to the shelf that my Pink Princess is on, it was like sideways like that in the pot. I don't know if like it got knocked. No one goes in there except me and I don't think I did it. So anyway, it's just been sitting in water. There's its little roots. It does have kind of weak roots, so I'm wondering if maybe some of the roots were rotting or dying and then, I don't know, and then it fell out. I have no idea. I literally have no explanation for why my Pink Princess was like laying sideways in its pot. So long story short, it's been sitting in water for 2 days and now it needs to get potted up. Look how beautiful she is though. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Anyway, she needs to get potted up. Another plant that has been needing to get potted up for a very long time is my Syngonium Albo. These have been propagations I've had for a while. Look at those roots. This is embarrassing that it took me this long to pot this baby up. So this is another one that's gonna go from water into soil, but another beautiful one. This one I started from a bunch of cuttings that I just like collected from local people, which was so fun. It honestly was so fun to like scrounge up these cuttings. So beautiful. And my last one, let me reach over for this one, is my Philodendron gloriosum. It did put out a new leaf for me. This one was an import from like back in September. I'll link the video so that you can see it if you would like. These 2 leaves came with the plant. They came pretty damaged as expected from an import, but again, it did put this one out and it is working on a new one. I honestly thought it was gonna like choke out this leaf because gloriosum is a crawler and like, as you can see, there's not a lot of space in there for it to crawl. So I really thought it was gonna choke out the next growth point, but it didn't. And so this was just like my sign, like you need to get this potted up. So I got a nice wide pot for it and I will be potting it up. Also, those roots are insane. Like, look at all those roots. It's time. I've really been putting this off. I'm such a lazy plant parent. I've really been putting this off. So let's get started. Let's pot up these 3 baby plants. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit cut out, but it doesn't matter because we're repotting plants. My face is not a part of this. So I have decided I'm going to put this Pink Princess in this little terracotta pot. It has some soil in it. I'm gonna toss that nasty old soil. And the reason I'm tossing it, I usually reuse soil, which like everyone has such a problem with. But the reason I'm tossing it is because the plant that was in here before died of root rot. And it was so long ago, but like I really don't wanna risk my Pink Princess getting root rot, especially because I think the roots were maybe already rotting. I did douse them with hydrogen peroxide. So hopefully all of the bacteria that was in there causing the root rot has died, but still I don't want to make it worse, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna be tossing that soil, long story short, and putting that plant in there. With my Syngonium Albo, I will be putting it in this very cute pot. I got this from my fiance's parents for my birthday. I got a cute little set of 3 pots with little dishes. They're so cute, and I haven't used them yet because I haven't repotted plants because I'm a lazy plant parent. And now I get to use it. So I will be putting this guy in there, and it is a bit of a bigger pot. I mean, maybe it isn't with the insane amount of roots that this has, but it might be a little bit wider than the plant, but I'm hoping to find a cute little trellis to put in here to like let the plant trellis. So that's why I went with a little bit of a bigger pot. And then lastly, whoa, let me reach. My gloriosum will be going into this nice wide and stubby terracotta pot. So it does have a ton of roots in there. I know this pot looks a little bit like ridiculous for this plant, but I don't actually, it might not even look ridiculous for this plant. I don't think it does. I'm just like getting paranoid that all my plants are going into like too big of pots, but I think that'll be good. I think that'll be really good. I have my giant tub of soil. I do have a video on my soil mixture, but it has changed a little bit since then, so I'm not even gonna refer you back to that because it is pretty outdated video. But I guess if you're interested in knowing the soil mixture that I used a year ago that I don't use anymore. You can go watch it, but I don't know why you would, because I don't use it anymore, so woohoo. I'm going to be trying diatomaceous earth. I picked this up at my Plant Pal Forest plant shop, say that 10 times fast, and I haven't given it a try, but I'm gonna try mixing it in with the soil as I pot it up, and hopefully that will help with fungus gnats and other pests. I haven't really had a big issue with pests recently, but I'd rather get ahead of it, like be proactive than reactive, you know? So I am gonna put my little gloves on because my nails are super long and I hate getting soil all up in my nails. And also I just really don't like the feeling of soil all over my fingers. I know some people really like that feeling, like being one with the earth, but I don't. I'm not one of those people. I have so much going on. I'm gonna start with the Pink Princess. This is kind of a mess. I'm gonna put this little thing down. I got this as a joke, but I like it. Like, I got this as a gag gift for Christmas and I actually use it, so ha to whoever gave it to me as a gag gift. It actually was useful, so thank you. But that way it'll catch all the soil so that I don't get soil all over the place. I'm gonna start by filling this pot up with some soil from my soil mixture. I really have not opened this in so long. This is so bad. It's like embarrassing how long I've gone without potting up a plant because it's embarrassing. So I put in that much soil. Where's my diatomaceous earth? Okay. I'm gonna sprinkle some diatomaceous earth in there. I know this stuff only works, oh, it came out really fast. I know this stuff only works when it's dry, so it's not gonna be super helpful here at first because like once I repot plants, I usually give them a nice watering, but once it dries again, maybe it will be helpful. So that's about how much I'm putting in there. I'll put some more on the top as well, but I think that should be a good base for my plant, for my little Pink Princess. I just love this plant. Like, I know Pink Princess gets a lot of crap, and I am one of the people that dishes out Pink Princess crap because I'm not a big Pink Princess person in general. Because I think, honestly, and I don't want to sit here and slander Pink Princess for the whole time that I'm potting Pink Princess up because that's just rude. But I think it was just really overhyped, and then the specimens that started coming out because it was kind of like rushed to produce a lot of Pink Princesses and sell them for $500 for a 1-leaf cutting. Actually, I don't think they ever went for that much money, but you know what I'm saying. So there was such a rush to get these plants out that the quality of the specimens that were being rushed out like back in like early 2020 was not good. Like, the quality was so bad. The plants were barely variegated and kind of scraggly. Sorry if you can hear my dog eating. She just decided that right now is a good time to start eating. But yeah, so the quality of the plants really went down, but the prices didn't. They just kept going up. And so that's really my issue with Pink Princess. Okay, I had to step away. My phone was getting notifications that I could not ignore, but I'm back. It's been like 20 minutes, so I don't know where I was. I was slandering Pink Princess, that's what it was. My thoughts on Pink Princess now. I think there are some sellers who are still taking advantage of people who don't know the market anymore. I guess who don't know the market in general and are still willing to pay those big prices because they think that that's what a plant is worth, but I just don't, I don't know. It's a beautiful plant if you get a nice specimen of it. It's even a beautiful plant if you don't. I guess just like pay what you're comfortable paying, but do your research before you get them, because a lot of them, like once they're reverted, they can come back. The pink can come back, but you shouldn't be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a reverted Pink Princess, and that's just my opinion. No one should be selling it for that because it's just not, that's not the market value anymore, you know? Like, no shame to people who did back in the day, like get your coin, that was the market value. It just is not anymore. So it just makes me, I don't know, a little hesitant to really come out here and praise Pink Princess. I mean, the plant didn't do anything wrong, but I don't know. I don't want this to get super controversial, so I will stop there. I do love my Pink Princess. I do think she's beautiful. She's all potted up now that I just rambled for who knows how long about Pink Princess. I did get this plant, I know I've said this before, as a 2-leaf cutting. It was this leaf and this leaf. I did get it for about $25 US, about, oh, I don't know, less than a year ago for sure, probably about 6 months ago, if that. And it's grown a ton. It's a beautiful plant. I haven't chopped it. I'm scared to chop it. I kind of want to, but I'm nervous. I've heard that sometimes when you start cutting up Pink Princess, it stops, like the variegation gets all messed up, and she's like putting out so many beautiful half moon leaves and like other gorgeous leaves that I just like really don't want to mess things up. So yeah, that is my Pink Princess. She's all potted up. Oh yes, I'm gonna put a little bit of diatomaceous earth on top. Just a little bit of diatomaceous earth. There, that's about how much I put on. I don't know if that's right. I've never used diatomaceous earth before, but maybe I'll mix it in a little bit with my little gloved finger. That should be good. And once I'm done potting all 3 of these plants up, I will give them a nice bath. Make sure I wash all the leaves out because I don't think these plants have gotten a nice leaf washing in a while. And I will like water the soil through because the soil is very, very dry because it's just been sitting there for a really long time. So I have a cute little dish for this one. I will put that aside. That looks beautiful, literally beautiful, in love. All right, next up, let's do the Syngonium Albo. I think this one will be easier than the gloriosum because the gloriosum has the moss that I have to deal with. And if you've watched my repotting videos in the past, you know that I suck with moss repotting because it is just really hard to get all the moss off of the roots, and it's just a struggle. I always struggle. It's never fun, and so I'm gonna make that last. Okay, putting about that much soil in, sprinkling in some diatomaceous earth. I'm like aiming for the diatomaceous earth to hit right around where the, oh my gosh, I put way too much in. To hit where the roots are gonna be, in case there's pests that decide to crawl around the roots. That's about what that looks like now. Then they can die. Let's see if that's good. Oh, geez, look at those roots. Oh my gosh. I'm just like astounded at how much I've neglected this plant and how much it just like doesn't care that I've neglected it. Definitely need a little bit more soil. Okay, so just life updates, I guess, because I don't know what else to talk about during these videos. It is the beginning of April. I am so bummed out because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was so warm and nice here. Like the weather was nice, the like birds were chirping, and it was just like spring is here. And I even did my like spring growth video and I was just like feeling so good, and then it snowed. Because of course it did, because we can't have nice things around here because it's gonna snow because I live in Minnesota, and I don't know why every year I expect it to be different. I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, why am I shocked? Like, I am 25 years old. I have lived here for basically my entire life. What is surprising to me about this at this point? Like, why am I surprised? But I am. I'm like surprised and disappointed about this every year. It happens every year, and I get so bummed out because I think like, oh, spring is here finally, and then it's not. It's never here when you think it is. So we are going on a vacation next week. We're going to Mexico for a wedding. I'm actually very excited about it because, like I said, it's snowing here, and so I would literally do anything to get out of here for a week, which is what we will be doing. I will be laying on the beaches of Mexico, sipping cocktails and just doing nothing. And that's honestly more than I could have ever asked for. So I'm very excited to be doing that. I'm a little nervous about leaving my dogs. They're going to stay with my parents. My parents always take care of my dogs because my parents rock, and they never complain that we are always dropping our 2 dogs off there. But I'm a little bit nervous because my oldest dog, Annie, she's the one that generally appears in all of my videos. She's the like light tan colored one. She recently, actually a week ago yesterday, had some surgery done. She had oral surgery because she had to get some teeth extracted. And so she's recovered really well. She's had like a week to recover. She's been doing really well, but it still makes me nervous to leave her. She's still eating soft food only. My parents have another dog, which she's like geriatric, so I don't think that she'll bother her, but we do have another dog, which you've probably seen, the black and white one. She's very high energy, and I've had to be home with them. I've been working from home for the past week. I've been working from home for a long time, but specifically I've been working from home for the past week because I was really nervous about leaving them alone, the two of them. And like my office is dog friendly, but like I have very reactive dogs. And so I'm like nervous that they're gonna just like be really annoying at the office. So I've never brought them in, and maybe I will someday, but I was just nervous to leave them alone because our little dog, our youngest one, Ray, really likes to play and is always looking to play with Annie, and they play like to wrestle and bite each other. And like Annie just had oral surgery. She can't do that. And so I've been having to stay home to watch them, to make sure that they don't get into like little like play tussles, which they do. And so I'm just like a little anxious to leave them because I know like my parents have to work, and obviously I can't expect them to like stay home and like babysit my dogs because they're dogs and my parents have a life. But yeah, I don't know. It's just been like something I've been a little bit anxious about, but I think it'll be okay. We're leaving a week from tomorrow, so it should be okay. It shouldn't be a big deal. I'm just like getting overly anxious because like they're my babies. Like I don't have any kids, so my dogs are my kids kind of thing. So anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. Here is the Syngonium Albo. This actually looks really gorgeous in this pot. It's obviously leaning a little bit this way, but that is okay. I don't know if you saw when I started potting this up, I put kind of a little stopper at the bottom. It came with these nice little stoppers so that the soil wouldn't pour out while I was potting it up, but now I'm going to take it out. And I'm sure some soil is gonna pour out, but that's okay. Oh, hey, we didn't get any soil pouring out. All right, I will put the little dish on here. And actually, again, I'm gonna sprinkle some diatomaceous earth on top. This looks so cute. I love the way this looks. Like the white variegation with the white pot, I feel like is so pretty. I had it in like a little white pitcher while it was propagating, so I was kind of hoping to get it into a white pot. And this is perfect. So yeah, Syngonium Albo. I'm gonna set this aside and we'll water them all at the end. Last but not least, we have the gloriosum. I'm gonna pull this baby out. Look at those roots. This is just like embarrassing. I know I've said this like 100 times, but I'm like embarrassed at how bad of a plant parent I've been recently. Look at that. That is all roots. It doesn't even look like there's any sphagnum moss on there. So I'm gonna try to pull this apart the best I can. I should have wet this before. I know one of you told me in my last repot video when I had to do this with like 7 plants, I repotted literally like 7 plants that were all in sphagnum moss. One of y'all told me like to get it really wet and that it would pull apart a little bit easier. And I did try that after that and it did work, and now I didn't do it this time. And so that was stupid. So actually I'm gonna do it. How about, oh. Have the water that my pink princess was in. I'm just gonna dunk this guy in here. Hopefully this will help. It'll help pull the moss apart a little bit. And yeah, I'm throwing the moss into my soil mix. I really don't care to separate it out. I'm okay with having moss in my soil mix. Really, my soil mix is just like whatever. Like I'm not super particular. I want to make sure it's like chunky, so it has a lot of orchid bark in it. It does have leca in it. It has charcoal in it, which I think is like helps with the good bacteria in the soil and the pH, and I don't know. I'm not a soil scientist. I have no idea. But holy cannoli, this is wild. This is all roots. It's like so hard to pull it apart because it's all roots. Shame on me for being such a lazy plant parent that I let this happen. Shame on me. Okay, this is probably not super fun for you to watch, so I super duper apologize because I did this in my last video and like my last repotting video, and here we are again. And my last repotting video was like an hour and a half long because the entire time I was sitting there trying to pull sphagnum moss out of the roots, and no one wants to see that, but you get to see it, I guess. Let's see, any other life updates? So yeah, my dog, vacation. We're planning our wedding. I don't know if y'all know I'm engaged. I think I have said that I have a fiance before, so, but I don't know like that I've really talked about it. a ton. So I am engaged. We are getting married in September of this year. We are planning our wedding. It has been quite the task to plan a wedding. If any of y'all have gotten married or are in the middle of planning a wedding, I feel ya. It is a lot of work. Like right when we thought, like, hey, we have all our big ticket items done, like we have our venue, we have our food, we have like the dress for me, we have our colors picked out, we have our flowers, like we realized like, oh, we're not even halfway there in terms of planning. Like we still need to plan a bunch of other things. I am excited though, obviously. Like if I wasn't excited to get married, like I would be super concerned and I should not be getting married. So I am very, very excited. I'm just like a little bit overwhelmed. I'm someone who gets overwhelmed very easily. Like let's get real personal here. I do get really overwhelmed really easily, and to the point where it's like become almost like an ongoing joke at our house. It's like, oh, Laura's overwhelmed again. Like literally anything will overwhelm me. It's something that would not overwhelm like anyone else. I just like get overwhelmed. Like I don't know. I'm not gonna give you examples because we don't need to get into that, but it is a little bit overwhelming. And so I'm trying to do little bits at a time, like a little bit every day, a little bit every week. And that has helped. And just like talking about the things that are hard about planning a wedding has been helpful as well, because yeah, communication is 100% the most important thing ever in any relationship, platonic or otherwise. So yeah, that's where that's at. I do have my wedding dress. I'm very excited. It is very beautiful. Obviously, I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't. I do not want to talk about what it looks like because I know my fiance does not watch these videos because he doesn't care about my plants. Literally, like I would put him to sleep talking about my plants. So I could literally wear my wedding dress in one of these videos and he wouldn't notice. But there's an off chance that he might like click on it. I don't know. And then it'll be like, oh, well, I know what your wedding dress looks like. It's like, okay. So it is very pretty though. I will show you once the wedding is over. I will show you all of our wedding shenanigans and things. Like maybe I'll do a little vlog leading up to the wedding. I don't think the day of the wedding it's fair to expect myself to do anything other than just like enjoy my wedding. But yeah, maybe I'll get some clips of that other people take and throw things together to give you a little wedding vlog so that you can kind of get a glimpse into our day. But again, it is all the way in September, so we still have about 6 months to go. Let's see, this is not getting a lot better. This is horrible. This is literally horrible. Okay, does this happen to everyone who roots in sphagnum moss? Is this just because it got super rooted in there? But yeah, did this get this bad because I didn't try to repot it sooner, or is this just the way that all moss propagation go? Because my only experience with moss propagation is like I leave it in moss for like 7 years and then I try to repot it and then it's a nightmare to get all the moss out. So I don't know if that's just because I leave it in the moss for like 7 years. I'm gonna end up damaging these leaves and I'm gonna cry. All right, I'm gonna give myself like 1 more minute at pulling moss off of this and then we're gonna call it good because this is getting boring for me and I can't imagine how boring it's getting for you. I'm like looking over at my camera and I've been filming for 30 minutes and I've only potted up 2 plants. So that's exhausting. That's exhausting to watch. So I am gonna call it good here soon because I don't know. Is there anything wrong with potting it up with a bunch of moss around the roots? Like obviously I know you don't want to like throw a clump of moss into your pot probably, but like is there anything super wrong? Like will it hurt your plant? My only concern would be that the roots would stay too wet, you know? If there's like a ton of moss around the roots that it would, yeah, stay too wet, but like if you pull most of it off, I think it's okay. All right, I think we're gonna call this because I can't get any more of this moss off, nor do I really want to at this point. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's just like a big chunk in the middle here. I like how I keep saying like, all right, I'm done. And then I go back and pull more moss out because I don't want to hurt my plant. I don't know, am I gonna hurt my plant if I leave a ton of moss in there? You tell me, you know, you tell me. It'll be way too late by the time that you see this if someone's like, oh no, don't do that. Too late, you know, but maybe next time I won't mess it up if you give me some tips down below. But okay, we'll call that good. That's good. There's my roots. Some moss there at the top, but it is what it is. Let's see, let's get this pot in here. All right, I'm gonna actually sit the plant right there. Oh no. Don't do that. I want it to tip into frame. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm not gonna set the plant there. Set the plant over here. I still want you to see it. I just don't want it to cover everything I'm doing. I have such a mess on this counter right now because I am repotting a ton of plants and doing a bunch of things and filming a bunch of videos right now because I don't have a ton of time to nowadays. And so when I can sit down for like 2 hours and film, I do that. Plus it's fun for me to get all my plant stuff done and chat to the camera / to you about what I'm doing. So I do have kind of a mess on this counter. I'm gonna be filming, I don't know what order these videos are gonna come out in because I try to space them out so it's not like a ton of repotting videos or a ton of like chatty videos or a ton of like Hoya videos all at once. So I do try to kind of space it out a little bit so I don't know what order these these videos are gonna come out in, but I'm also filming, I don't know if you remember my Hoya terrarium that I put together like back in December. I'm going to be potting those little plants up today and filming it. So, okay, this was stupid. I just let it sit in water while I filled up the pot with soil and now it's like dripping in water. Okay, here's the pot. I don't know how I want to arrange the plant. I know that it's a crawler, so I don't know if I put it in the middle or if I want to put it like off to the side. I don't know. I don't really know. I should have like looked into this a little bit more before I started, but I think I'm gonna put it off to the side like that so that it can grow. It seems to be growing that way. So if I put it over on this corner, maybe then it can grow that way, which is the way it seems to be wanting to grow, if that makes any sense. So please let me know down below if this is the stupidest way to pot up Philodendron gloriosum, because I can always repot it. Like it'll be a couple weeks late by the time you see this, but if things are gonna be bad for this plant, I can always repot it. So do let me know. Also, my voice sounds like really rough and I keep like sniffling, and I know it's probably gross for you to hear that, but I was super sick last week. We were all super sick at our house. Like everyone got super sick. It was not the vid, but it was like a nasty, nasty cold. Finally, everyone is starting to feel better, but there's some residual sniffling, you know, some residual voice kind of sounding a little bit sick. So if you have heard my voice kind of a little off or me sniffling throughout the video, that is why. Oh, my voice is starting to go away because I'm talking too much. I literally don't usually like do a lot of talking throughout the day unless I'm like in meetings at work, but like today I didn't have any work, so usually I'm just silent in my house by myself when I'm alone here, and apparently my voice doesn't like the fact that I'm just silent. Oh, I forgot to put diatomaceous earth in this one. Rats. I'll put some on top to compensate. I'll put a ton on top and I'll try to mix it in. Some of y'all who actually know how to use diatomaceous earth are probably watching this and just like shaking your head like, what is she doing? She's losing it. I may be losing it, you know, I may be. Okay, this looks cute. I'm so excited. I really want this plant to get big. Like large, mature gloriosum is some of the prettiest plants I personally have ever seen. Hello? In the world? Sorry, I'm hearing a really weird noise outside. What in the world is that? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It sounds like pouring water almost. I don't know. Maybe my neighbors are doing something. I need to be less nosy. Okay. A little more diatomaceous earth. Never hurt nobody. I think, I don't know, maybe it did hurt somebody. That looks great. Looks great to me. There she is. Oh. In all her glory. Ah, it tipped. Oh no. Why? Are you not stable in there? Oh no. I think because the roots were all like in a clump, it's not really giving it any stability. Oh. Maybe I'll put in a little stake for it. Actually, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm just not gonna move it around a ton. I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna tip it like a little ding dong because there we go. You can see it there. Ta-da! All right, let's water these bibbies. I'm gonna move this little mat out of the way and go grab the other two so that we can water them together. All right, here are the 3 plants that we potted up: my gloriosum, my Syngonium Albo, and my Philodendron pink princess. I have a little thing of water. I usually like watering them with liquider once I pot them up, but my liquider is upstairs and I'm too lazy to go get it. So I'm just using regular tap water. Next watering, I will use liquid dirt. So I'm just gonna give it a nice watering. Yeah. Just to kind of help, you know, the soil get a little moist and the plant kind of start to establish itself. And then I will be setting these aside. I don't really know where I'm gonna put these. I haven't really decided. Oh, I definitely added way too much water. The pink princess. Ooh, it's gonna start spilling. It's gonna start spilling. Let's see, the magic of using the water to water another plant. Okay, for now, I think I'm gonna leave these down here, but I think I'll be putting my pink princess back in the cabinet because every time I pulled it out, it's giving me teeny tiny growth. Like, let me show you. Can I get in there? Yeah, it like gives me like these leaves when it's in the cabinet, and then it gives me like this leaf when it's out of the cabinet. Do you see the difference in size at least? Like, so I'm gonna put it back in the cabinet. These 2 were already down here in my kitchen under my grow light, so I think I'm gonna leave them here and just let them hang out, you know? I'll keep an eye on them, but just let them hang out. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It was fun chatting with you, kind of catching up, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content to make for you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.